As you can see, those balls be balling. Okay. Man, I haven't done this format in so long. Hey. Welcome to this video. I don't really know how to do, as you may or may not know, the OP-XY does not have some of the effects and or sequencers that the OP-1 has, or the OP-1 field. I get it. You gotta buy both, but do you? Maybe. We'll see what happens. We're gonna poke the teenage engineering bear with something that I built. Let's flip over to this camera right here. So down in the corner here, you'll see with my invisible hands the beautiful OP-XY. Yeah, that should be playing notes, no problem. Up here, the main window that we're seeing is that's a fancy website, and those who are familiar with teenage engineering and or the OP-1, you may kind of see where this is going from what you're seeing here. I mean, y'all remember the Tombola? There's a sequencer on the OP-1 that is all about just sort of dropping notes into a rotating hexagon, and then you've got the ability to speed up said hexagon. The general idea of this is that you would have the ability to kind of trigger random notes, either like a chord or a scale. Let's just try. Right now I've got it so hitting the buttons on the interface, so these basically your keys, your actual keyboard keys on the interface would trigger the notes that drops a little ball down into the interface, and there you go. It's Tombola. Obviously, like, you know, a one day version of it, but so just to be clear, this OP-XY on the website is sending over USB. It's sending over USB MIDI to the OP-XY, the actual device here. It's sending those MIDI notes, which then trigger the notes. And let's start out the. All right, let's crack that open. We gotta focus. And what I'm gonna do is actually build what I've made as a website, and I'm going to put the link in the description of this video. So if you want to try this out for yourself, please just go to the website, and essentially you'll just connect your OP-XY through USB to your computer. So what will happen is you'll load up this website, you connect your OP-XY to your computer through USB, and then once it's connected through this drop down, you should see it in the list there on the top left. Select it from the drop down, and you should see that it's opened and connected on the upper right. There's some sort of debug messages, and once it's connected, that's pretty much it. You will be able to hit keys, what you would expect, the keyboard keys on the keyboard. You can fire them off on the interface there, and they'll create notes just like it kind of did on the OP-1, and those little note balls will bounce around. You've got the 4 knobs here. I don't have them actually hooked up to the knob interface yet. I may do that, but you can, just like on the OP-1, you can move the speed and or direction of the hexagon with that first knob. The second knob will it'll open up little platforms, so the balls will actually fall out, which allows you to kind of have something that's constantly changing by putting in new notes. And then having old notes drop away. The third knob is your gravity. Maxing that up all the way to the top means you've got like max gravity. The balls will, fall pretty quickly. And the fourth knob is your bounce, the elasticity of both the platforms and the balls, and you can get into some pretty silly situations with. There you go. I didn't clamp the bounce to a reasonable amount, so you should be able to get some pretty silly, just pure glitches going. As you can see, those balls be balling. Okay, and let's just speed that up there, and then we'll open it up. Send those balls flying. Okay, and of course, once you've got notes in the thing, in the little hexagon, you got it closed off. You can actually use the tracks to change, and this will actually send a signal to your OP-1, to your OPXY, to change the tracks to a different instrument. So you can actually use that to sort of experiment with different, random things. But again, this is just a proof of concept, and the fact that this is working is huge for me because there's a few things that I really want to build with this sort of interface in mind. Keeping in mind that I could essentially have like a multi view of kind of what you're working with, and have, let me just say right now, probably the next thing I'm going to be working on is mute groups. There are CCs to control different, the mute states of each track, and essentially because of that, you can. What I'll probably do is create my own little interface to pick, create a mute group, pick which tracks are going to be active and not active on that. And essentially just through this interface, you'll be able to, do like a little live set, just with no program, no using the scenes or the arranger or anything like that. You could literally just set up your mute groups on this browser, not even being on the mixer view of the OPXY. One of the biggest things that I have a problem with is the fact that you got to keep bouncing back and forth between different screens to do stuff. Let me just turn this off for a second. If you want to mess around with the punch effects, you have to be on the punch effects screen. Of course, that makes sense, but then you can't control track volumes or anything like that. So it would be kind of nice to actually have, say, a web interface that's controlling the track volumes and the mutes and mute groups, and then you can hang out on the punch effect screen and just be jamming that way, or you could actually sit on the tape screen and be messing around with the live tape and stuff like that, and still have access to everything else while you're doing that, which is kind of huge for me. And I know, this is all possible with things like just connecting actual MIDI controllers and stuff to the OPXY, but the fact that I'm making this stuff. So, the world is my oyster, and being able to, put a little prototype tombola together, there's no limit to some crazy sequencers or just straight up wacky stuff that I can get to actually trigger stuff, with a different interface, or even, this is the kind of thing where you could have an instrument that's controlled. I'm not going to get into that. The potential for this is crazy for me personally. Just being able to build my own interface and build my own tools that would actually make it more fun and more spontaneous for me to mess around with this stuff. Super cool. So yeah, shouts out to Construct 3. With them and the MIDI plugin that they've recently put out in the beta of the engine. Huge, saved a ton of work, and was able to look at their example project and kind of see how they're doing, sending the signals and all that kind of stuff. And didn't take me too long to figure out how to get stuff from my browser into the OPXY. And another huge shout out, once I knew how to send the notes and the CC I don't know what CCs stand for, the cool commands. Once I knew how to send those, I didn't know what to send. So huge shout out to, I believe, let me see if I got these names right. K Morrill on Reddit, u/K Morrill, who started the process of actually mapping the CCs out. So having the value, or like the numbers and then the values assigned to each one, helped a ton, and is going to help a ton with going through this stuff to be able to basically create little toys that interact with these things in cool ways. So yeah, big shouts out to K Morrill, and then also Brandon Withrow, who has contributed and is doing their own thing on the Teenage Engineering subreddit, making tons of cool toys and tools to create drum kits just through a website. Is this the one? I don't think I've actually used this one. Oh snap. I haven't actually used this specific tool yet to generate drum patches, but the fact that this stuff is possible and that you got cool people putting these kind of things together, super awesome. And I think it's super cool to see, because with the OPXY being so brand new, having people actively developing stuff for it, it's pretty neat. So huge thanks to you guys for putting some of this stuff together, and for anyone else who's contributing to this CC documentation, which James and Adam, big ups to you guys. And if you guys have any cool ideas or things that you want to see me kind of incorporate into my, like a live screwing around tool for the OPXY. I'm going to start with some various sequencers and that kind of thing. Obviously, the mute groups is a big thing I want to do. But yeah, if there's anything specific that you want to see or are curious if it's possible even, just hit me up in the comments or wherever you're seeing this. Just let me know. I'm kind of keeping my eyes open in the community, and yeah, I'd love to, it's fun to try this stuff out and see if it works. And obviously anything that I do benefits, me and my music as well. So, and speaking of my music, it would be a crying shame if I didn't mention that you should check out Ghost Cartridge on Spotify, because that's my shit. Me and my homie EQ, we put out an album last summer, and it's hot stuff. And yeah, I got a cool, more of a lo-fi ambient album coming out very soon. But yeah, check out Ghost Cartridge. Ghost, like the ghost, and cartridge, like the NES game storage device. Okay, that's enough of this. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. I'm not going to tell you what to do with a subscribe button or any of that stuff. You're your own person. Fulfill your destiny. Thanks.